Okay, welcome back into the special edition of Wake Up America. Today, obviously, a big day alive. Look in Tel Aviv, where I think there's a lot of celebrations going on right now. Sarah, feeling a lot more safe after the actions
A
from
lot
President
safer.
Trump.
There is a lot of celebration, but there's also a lot of concern
For
too,
sure,
because there has been some strikes on Israel this morning. People have had to run to their shelters. There are injuries, but Israelis are resilient, and they know that in order to have peace, there has to be a little unfortunate chaos beforehand.
That's right. Peace through strength, as
Exactly.
both President Trump and the Prime Minister have said. Both sides of the aisle have weighed in on the U.S. attack on Iran with polar opposite reactions. Talking about Congress, everybody. We're going to bring in a key congressional player in all of this. Representative John McGuire of the House of Armed Services Committee. Congressman, thanks for coming on. Good to see you this morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on. You know, the world woke up this morning safer. Our future generations will not have to live in a world of an Iranian nuclear threat. History was made last night, and it's an exciting time.
Congressman, talk about, there's some calls to go ahead and start impeachment proceedings against President Trump, like from AOC, though you've got some Democrats just as well. John Fetterman, who's in total support. So talk about what you're seeing out of your colleagues there in D.C.
Well, that's ridiculous. You know, I was with Chairman Mike Rogers, the chair of the Armed Services Committee, in committee last week with Pete Hegseth. And Pete Hegseth is doing a great job. He talked about a unifying message for our armed forces. Whenever American men and women are in conflict or overseas, we need to come together and be unified as a nation. This is not a time for that rhetoric from AOC or anyone else on the left. You know, the United States has been to war 11 times in our history. Well, we've had conflicts like this 125 times. But when we have our soldiers engaged, thank God they got the job done and got out and everybody's safe. But right now, we need a unifying message from both sides of the aisle. I think that's ridiculous. And I think this is look at this. Something that people in the world should note is even the Iranian allies know that they are a bully in the area. And none of them have jumped in to help. Everybody's being quiet because even the countries that don't necessarily like the U.S. didn't like Iran. They're a bully. And by the grace of God, we have a safer world today.
Exactly. I think it's a reality check for the regime there in Iran, where no one has come to their defense over this. But you mentioned Pete Hegseth. You said you spoke with him. He's going to be making an address within a number of minutes now at the top of the hour. What do you expect that the Defense Secretary will be saying to us today?
Well, I think he's going to talk about a unified message again. We've got to be vigilant. Obviously, we have 40,000 U.S. troops in CENTCOM in the Middle East area, and we've got to be on highest alert. We've got to keep an eye on each other. But I think we've proven we brought assets into the area, and we are ready for whatever counterattack they might want to do. What Iran should do is go back to what Trump wants, and that is negotiate. No one wants peace more than Trump, but he's been consistent. He said Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. He gave them 60 days to negotiate, and they refused. And like I said, I think that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to have peace, not just in the Middle East, but in the world, because Iran has been a threat to the world. But we can't take this for granted. We've got to stay vigilant. I mean, who knows what happened over the last 4 years? And also, you think about Biden. He appeased Iran with billions of dollars. Biden and Obama.
Oh, it really started with Obama, Congressman.
Yeah, it started with Obama. You're right. Both of them appeased Iran with billions of dollars, yet Iran has killed 1,000 American service members and civilians. And hopefully this will end. But with the open borders, who knows what terror cells we have in our country. But we've got great law enforcement, our FBI, and everybody's going to work together. And I would ask the American people at home and abroad, stay vigilant. If you see something, say something and do something so we can keep all Americans safe wherever they are.
Exactly right. Good point to make. It's important because, you know, not even the sleeper cells, as we just spoke about, but also those crazy protesters as well who have been terrorizing our streets for years. But anyway, we have to leave it there. Congressman John McGuire, thank you so much for your insight today.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.